Alrighty, so on the word problems, this is going to be assignment number. Okay, we're not doing that just yet, so just set that aside. We're doing this. So this should be pretty easy. You always go to the question because they've got lots of numbers here. They've got 4 members, 100 meters, but all they want is what is the total time for the 400 meters. So who knows where I start adding? Read it through. What am I going to be adding? Yes, sir.
1 minute and 20.4.
Yeah, in fact, let's set this one up together. So on the number one, it is, we have to make a separate column for minutes and seconds. So the minutes is 1 minute and then 20.4 seconds. The next one is what?
1 minute and 10.3 seconds.
1 minute and 10.3. Mateo, what's the next one? There you go. So 1 minute and 30.5 seconds. And the last one is 1 minute 25.8. Okay. So we've got to add up all of our seconds. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's going to be, let me see if I can do my good. Okay. 8 and 3 is 11. And 4 and 5 is 9. 11 and 9 is 20. So that's it. Carry that 2. So 5 and 2 is 7. And then we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's seconds, and we've got 4 minutes. Now, how many, we've got too many seconds. How many seconds are in a minute? 60. So I need to take every 60 seconds and change it into a minute. So I'm going to subtract 60 seconds here, but I'm going to add 1 minute here. That's the conversion. So I'm taking 60 seconds to make a minute. So my final answer is, when I add all those up, how many minutes did it take?
Sure.
What? Leanna, how many minutes did it take? I need you to be focusing. There's only 4 of you, and I'm going to call on you. Yes, sir.
5 minutes and 27 seconds.
It's 5 minutes, and when I subtract that, 27 seconds, and I don't need that 0. So it's 5 minutes, 27 seconds. And put your answer on this. And then we're not going to do many in this class. I think we're going to do, yeah, we're only going to do 1 through 5. So on the word problems, it's going to be 1 through 5 only. All the work needs to be done on line paper. I'll help you with the number 3. It says, how many grams of carbohydrates are there in 100 gram serving? So there's 100 gram serving, and let's see what's in that. In 100 gram serving, there are 8.3 grams of protein. Then there are 8 grams of vitamins and minerals. Then there's 3 grams of fiber. And then there's 1.4 gram of fat. And the remaining part right here, the remaining part is made up of carbohydrates. Okay. So they want to know how many carbohydrates are in this 100 grams. Well, we know of that 100 grams, the protein, the vitamins, the fiber, and whatever else this was, the fat, takes up this many grams. Who knows what I'd have to do to see how much is left? Abhinav, do you know what we'd have to do? Here's my total, 100 grams. It's made up of protein, vitamins, fiber, fat. But the rest of it right here is carbohydrate. So do you have an idea what we'd have to do?
We have the 13, 11, fibers, then we, after we add it on, we subtract the end.
That's it. Got it. Very good. So in fact, I think we can maybe add it right here. 3 and 4 is 7. And then 8 and 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then he's absolutely right. But this doesn't have a decimal. And by the way, here's a big question. Can I take 20 minus 100?
No.
Why not? Yeah. Can I take 20 minus 100? Gabriel?
No.
Because I can't put a smaller number on top until we get to integers. Because someone did that on the test. In fact, I'll talk about the test in a second. So you've got to take the 100. Where do I put a decimal on that? There you go, point. And then line up my 20.7. And then you're right, we need to put a 0. And then let's do clean subtraction. I can't take 0 minus 7, so I'm going to pre-borrow. And where are we going to get that 1 from? The 100. And so it becomes 0, 9, 9. And then you could subtract. 3, 9 minus 0 is 0. 9 minus 9 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit. 79.3. And again, those mixed up answers are on that paper. Do you see it somewhere? Here it is right here. And here's our 5 minutes, 27 seconds. So these are the word problem mixed answers. And I'm going to stop right now for this, but we can't take up a whole period to do 5 problems. So we're going to move on to this. And this is really important. So, when you are doing decimals, and I'm going to go down to, I'll go down to this row, because in fact, this whole section in here, it's double digit. So double digit times a double digit has to be done on paper. So this is going to be number 18. And it is B37. Now, when I'm writing number 10, who knows what I don't need to write? Do I need that 0? No. You don't need to write zeros that are in the front. So in fact, I'm going to drop all my decimals. And you multiply just like a regular number. So I'm going to multiply 604 times 91. 604 times 91. And then that's it. We're going to do it like so. 1 times 406 is 406. Now, for my 9, I don't put a placeholder. If you want to put a placeholder here, fine. But I know when I start with my 9, it goes under the 9. So it's just real easy. 1 starts under the 1. When you start with the 9, it goes under the 9. So 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 0 is 0. Plus 3 is 3. 9 times 6 is 54. Okay. And I know. So I'm going to put my answer there. You don't have to line it up in any way. 5, 4, 9, 6, 4. I should have checked to see if it was right. However, I really do have a decimal right here. So do you remember when you're multiplying, how many places in you have to go for multiplication? Does anybody remember? Nobody remembers? The thing for sure is you don't just bring it down. You always count all the numbers to the right in both numbers. So there's 3 to the right here, and there's none to the right of a decimal here. That's a whole number. So I'm going to, in my answer, I'm going to go in 3 places. You know, so if I circle 3 here mentally, I would mentally circle 3 or count over 1, 2, 3. So the decimal is going to go right here. And by the way, just for the heck of it, I'm going to say that's like a 0.5. 0.5, memorize that. 0.5 is a half. And half of this is about 45. And so this is reasonable. About half of that is going to be more than 45. So that is reasonable. Let's see if our answer is over here. And it is right here. So I'm going to put my decimal, cross it off, and where I see the 10 on the bottom, I'm going to put the letter D. 10D. On 11, what are the only two numbers that I need to multiply? 397 times what? Times what? Times 27. I don't need the 0 in front. So again, we'll start with the 7. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 9 is 63. Plus 4 is 67. 7 times 3, 21. Plus 6 is 27. Then when I start with the 2, I start under the 2. So 2 times 7 is 14. When I carry that 1, I'll just cross over that 4. 2 times 9 is 18, 19. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And I hope this is it. 9, 11, 17. Okay, I am sure that's it. 10719. Then, who knows how many places over the decimal is going to go? Careful, the decimal was right here. So, how many digits are to the right of that decimal? 2. Again, in my head, I would circle 2. So in my head, I'm going to circle 2. So it should go over 2 places. And let me make sure that answer's there, and it's right here. So I'm going to put my decimal back in my answer and put the answer. A for 11. And then I'm going to help you get started with which one? I'll do the 14. And I should have been numbering these. 10, 11, and on 14. I'm going to skip around a bit. Who knows the important numbers on 14? Who knows what I'd multiply in that one?
52.
Yeah, and I don't need the zeros in front. None of them. They just get in your way. So I can go 52 times 95 or 95 times 52. It doesn't matter. I'll go 52 times 95. When I start with the 9, it goes right under the 9. Now, I wrote it like that, and I work it like that without decimals, but I'll go ahead and go back and put where the decimal really was. So on this one, who knows how many places over I'm going to go for the decimal? How many? 3, because here there's no decimal here that we can see because it's a whole number, but starting here there's 1, 2, 3. So I should be able to go over 1, 2, 3. Now, this is what's really important on this particular one. Once you have a decimal, you may drop, it's the D. You may drop decimals. If you have your decimal, you may drop zeros. So I'm going to drop the 0. I'm not going to erase it. I'm just going to cross it off. My final answer should be 4.94. And it is right here. So 4.94, because we've got to learn how to clean up our decimal, and that means there's going to be a space at the number 14. So at 14, I don't even have a pencil that works. All of them, this thing is breaking my pencils. So 14 is just going to be a space in between words. Then, when you're, now these you may do right on the paper because it's a single digit times a double digit. It's a, on this one, do I need those zeros in the front?
No.
And I don't need to be, if I see it, you multiplying with zeros, I'm going to mark it wrong because we're cleaning up our work. We don't multiply with those zeros. You just work with the 6 and that's it. Let me see if there's any harm. Okay, on this one, rather than adding, on number 15, is there a quick way of doing that? Who knows how I could do that very quickly? On number 15. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.1s. Yes, sir.
8.1 times 7.
There you go. And this time I'd put the point, just so I know where to put it in the end. And then I'll let you finish that up. And then the last one that I'm going to help you with is the number 19. How much will it cost to run 4-line ad for 7 days? So 1, 2, 3, 4-line ad times 7 days. So a classified ad costs $2.45 per line per day. So here's one line. Here's another line. Here's another line. Here's another line. How can I get that total? There's 2 ways.
2.45 times.
Dude, what do you think? People, how many lines is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 245 times 4, or you could have added it on this one. And that's for 1 day. So 2.45 times 4. But then you're going to run the ad for how many days?
7 days.
So then you'd have to take that answer, whatever you get, and multiply it by 7. And that should be it. Okay, people? That is it. So you've got 3 word problems from the packet before and this worksheet. And you guys can begin. And if you're on a field trip today, you'll have 1 extra day to do it. Have a good day.